Okay, so in this video, I will be showing how you can export data from Fibion device, how you can get the raw data out of Fibion device and also Fibion G2 device. And basically, if you first navigate to Fibion Start, so if you write Fibion Start, you can find here the different tools for Fibion device, and we will add here also G2 device. And basically, now I will show how to use this research data upload tool. So you click here and you open up window like this. And if it's asking for a code, it's Fibion Pioneer, all small letters written together. So Fibion Pioneer. And then when I'm here, I have an example CSV file. So this is from the Fibion Research device. When you use the sync tool or the upload classic, you get a data file, which is CSV file. And basically, it's better to upload the data in our data processing engine and get the results from there. There's already some results in this file, but there's more validation studies done with the data that goes through our analysis platform. This is as we do some improvements for the data, and you get much richer data, for example, related to energy expenditure and so on. So this is the preferred way to get the data, the minute-to-minute data. So I said raw data, the Fibion Research device. This is an older generation device. So this one doesn't give the raw XYZ acceleration, while the Fibion G2 device also provides the raw data, but you can use the calculated outcome variables also here, and you get this kind of CSV file. And then I drag and drop it here. I could also click here and choose the file from my computer, maybe easier to drag and drop. And then, yeah, this one is old data file from 2019, but it has data. So the measurement has been started here, and it has probably not been worn here. Maybe it's been in a transit and it has recorded some movement, and then it has been probably just on a table or somewhere stationary and no data there. And then I can see that from 13th of February 2019, the device has been worn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5 days basically. So here I can see that it's been worn 15 hours, 14 hours, 21, 13, 12, and so on. And yeah, so probably person has been wearing it in the pocket, and in the night it has been on the table. And if you use a medical adhesive, then this would be 24 hours. And then here I have the background information. So I will add here my email. So I want this data report to come to my email. And then I can put the birth year here of the participant. And I can put the sex from here, and height and weight. And basically, this information will affect the energy expenditure calculation, as the size of a person and the gender or sex is important feature of it. So we make some estimation of muscle mass based on the data and then calculate those. And then when I have my email, I can click send data, and I will get data upload successful. Thank you for using Fibion. And then it might take some minutes before I get the email back that the data is ready. And if you don't see it in your mailbox, check your junk folder. It's possible that sometimes it goes to the junk or spam folder. And basically now I can go to my email. I have it here. So it says your Fibion data is ready, and I can click open. And then I see the data here. This is not super practical to have it here. And I can click here to download data in different formats. So I can get Excel, CSV, JSON, or PDF file type. So whichever you prefer, you can click here and you have the Excel, CSV, JSON, and PDF file type here. I will take the Excel file. So it's preparing the data and then exporting it. And I can see here it gave it that kind of random name for it. And basically, you probably want to name it, for example, with the name 001 and maybe the participant initials and so on. And when I open this one, it opens in Excel and I have the data file here and it opens like this. I trust the source. I can click enable editing. So I click enable editing and then I have it. I can put to see the headers a little bit easier. I click here and I double click here. So I get the width of the columns nicer. And then what I usually like to do is I click this one. So C3 in this case. And I would go for the view and these panes and take this first one. So now these columns will stay here when I'm scrolling down. And let me I have opened the same file earlier just to make it a little bit easier to show. And then let's see what's in the data file. So let me just go in find a good place where to show the data. In the beginning, the person hasn't been wearing the device, so it's not an ideal data for me to demonstrate what's in the data. Let me just go a little bit down. Yeah, so I have highlighted here just a few points that I used to show. So here, first of all, I see the date. So 2019, February 15th, and the time is 15:55:00. Then it's 15:56:00. So each line represents 1 minute 60 seconds of data. And then if we start looking from here, I can go here. It's a little bit easier to start explaining on this side. So, for example, if we look at this highlighted row here, we can see here activity classification. So if I change the color just to highlight this. So here I have activity classification. So off time and then percentage. So all these are percentage of the time. And the device has been worn, so the off time is 0%. Sitting time is 8.33% of this 1 minute. Standing time 10 and slow walking time 81.67. And then these together are 100%. So if I go, for example, here, let me take the calculator. So I go 8.33 plus 10 plus 8167. So it's 100%. And then if I want to know, for example, how many seconds the person was walking, it would be, let me see, 8.67 divided by 100. So as it was 100%, and then multiplied by 60 seconds. So the person was walking 49 seconds in this one, and standing was 0.1, so 10% here, so 0.1 times 60, so 6 seconds. And of course, if you want the seconds, you can make a column here and calculate those for all the lines easily. So this one tells what activity the person was doing during that time. Okay, and then if we continue, then, so these ones were the activity classification time. Then here, these variables, no, sorry, I actually made a mistake earlier. Also this high intensity time below belongs to the activity classification. So basically we have slow walking, brisk walking. But then if the person is, for example, running, playing basketball or something, it goes to high intensity, not defining more accurately what was this high intensity, but everything is grouped together if it's higher intensity and it's not slow walking, brisk walking or cycling. And then here we have light, moderate, and vigorous. So basically, let me highlight these, for example, like this. And this one is then light intensity time, moderate intensity. So divided by the METs, metabolic equivalents. And here we can, for example, see that the person has been 81.67% of the time doing slow walking. So that is light intensity activity. And for example, here the person has been walking over 3 meters, 6.67% of the time. So that goes to moderate intensity. And this one doesn't, as we see, it doesn't go to 100%. So this is basically, we need to take off time, sitting time, and standing time to there that it goes to 100%. So you have, if the device is not worn, or if it's sitting or standing, which don't belong to these categories. And so those together will be 100%. Okay, so those go to 100%. So for example, if we look from here, that in this, let's look this green row. So the person has been doing 71.67% of light intensity. So I go 7167 was the light intensity. And then it was 25% has been standing. So that's not categorized as light activity, but its own category, which for sedentary behavior research can be important. So plus 25. And then sitting time has been 3.33%. So 3.33. And we get the 100%. So now you have the understanding that there's activity classification, and then you have the light, moderate, vigorous intensity. And to get to 100%, you need to take into account also these columns. And then if we look a little bit more here, we can see energy expenditure. So we have total energy expenditure, joules per second. You can get those values from here. So basically this is for all of these calculated together. Then there is sitting. So basically the basal metabolic rate about. For standing, it's a little bit higher. And actually good to mention here that also small fidgeting movements during sitting, if you're tapping your legs, this can go higher. So we can see that's why it can change here. And also in standing, we can see that it's not the same joule per second for different ones. So this one is more stationary standing, and here we can see that the person is moving, swaying a bit more in these, so it goes to higher. And then you have slow walking, brisk walking, and so on. And basically these you can use to calculate the energy expenditure. So in this video, I have explained now how to export this minute by minute data. There, I will have a link here for another video where I will show how can you get the data from the reports as a CSV file for the analysis. That's useful if you don't want to go as granular as here, but get a little bit more summarized data, so it makes it your analysis easier, and there's a little bit different variables when we do this for different way. Okay, so thanks for watching, and good luck for your research.